daily feeding story. So I was just thinking back on my aha moments across the years and wanted to share one of them with you. I can vividly remember something clicking into place for me when I was a pretty new therapist. I was about a year or two into my practice, and I was really focused on feeling like I needed to have all the answers, or I needed to be able to look up and have the resources to know any answer to any feeding question that came across my path. And I remember this little kiddo that I worked with. He was pretty little. He was about 2 months old. He had a pretty bad stridor when he was feeding, and he had retracted breathing. He wasn't gaining weight well. His mom was super stressed. I researched my thumbs off and just could not find an answer, and the traditional things that I had learned from protocols weren't working for him. And basically the next session that I had, we just had a big brainstorming session, and I called it what it was to the mom. I told her that I didn't know what tool was going to help, but I was confident that there was a way for us to figure out how for him to eat that was safer and more comfortable and better for them both. And that we were just going to focus this session not on a specific strategy, but on just finding things and trying things and see what kind of stuck and what worked for him. At the end of that session, we had come up with a pretty unique setup for him. We had K-taped his tongue base for stability. We had figured out the right side lying position for him while he was breastfeeding. I had taught mom how to just manually retract his jaw a little bit for some counter pressure to give him stability. And we had swaddled him in flexion synergy pattern. And you know what, for him, it was beautiful. It worked absolutely amazingly. But you know, I haven't ever used that specific combination of techniques in the same way for any other client since. And that's been like 8 or 9 years ago. So my aha moment with that session at that point in my career was, we have to think critically and uniquely and creatively when we're working with the kids in front of us. It doesn't take an application of some expert answer for most of our kids, but what it does take is for us being open-minded, thinking outside the box, and looking at the situation through our OT lens until we problem solve a solution.